Hey family, thank you for tuning in my Facebook Live. It's me, Keela, and I'm here still talking about National You Day. As you know, I've told you guys over and over again that I'll be launching a national campaign all about National You Day. So I'll be interviewing various people, all walks of life, and we're talking about National You Day, its importance, just really cluing you into what this whole campaign is all about. So I've invited Mr. Jason Newsome to come to the show or to this live. He's a strategic lifestyle consultant. He's an actor, model, producer, entrepreneur, philanthropist. You've seen him in some upcoming projects, but I'll let him tell you about his projects that he's been in. So Jason, thank you for joining me tonight. We met days ago, and it was like instant, like, okay, this is it. So 2 days in a row, actually several days in a row. Yeah. So it's been great, and I'm just excited that you decided to join me.
I mean, you have an amazing cause that you guys are doing with the National You Day. So
thank you.
I do appreciate having to be able to be a part.
Well, thank you, because it's like you know, I had some people that are doctors, estheticians, makeup artists, hairdresser, you name it. And I wanted all of them to talk about, you know, what they're doing to keep it together, or what they're doing to keep themselves all in line. You know, life is busy for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we play a lot of roles to a lot of things in life. We're moms, we're wives, we're husbands, we're entrepreneurs, we're employees, we're employers. We're a lot of things, but rarely do we take the time to be about ourselves. We don't play the major role for ourselves that we should.
Absolutely. I mean, and you said it right. I mean, we're consuming most of our days filling the roles that you just identified there.
Right.
When, in theory, and I'm just myself, I go through life in a stress-free way. I live it moments, and it's not really a moment to moment, but I live in the moment. So I tell a lot of people, you can't necessarily recreate a moment. You can extend the moment. So when you can look at it from that way, and you can appreciate yourself every day, and you say, today is my day that I'm going to do what I feel like I want to do that's going to make me happy, and hopefully it makes somebody else happy, and they benefit from it as well. And we take that approach. Every day is a National You Day.
Every day should be a National You Day.
Absolutely.
Just, we going to all celebrate on live and everywhere else on August the 4th, but every day is a National You Day.
You got to treat yourself, but yes, we will recognize the one day.
Yeah. So tell, I mean, like I said, I did my research. You've been I saw you with Nicki Minaj. I saw you all over the place doing all kind of things. How did that start? And then I want to know, in the end of all that, what are you doing to keep it together? Because one minute you're in Tampa, you're in LA, you're in New York, you're everywhere. Life is busy for you, and you're doing a lot. So at the end of it, I want to know, how are you keeping yourself together? Like, what's your secret?
Oh man, you're right. I started off on a fast course in entertainment. However, it was a strategic move that was a little bit more, how can I put it, unexpected than I was ready for. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
In the entertainment. It was the long story of how it happened, but it all seemed like it just was meant to happen as far as the entertainment. I never had an interest as wanting to be a model or wanting to be an actor or a producer or a director. When the producer and director came, because I was being a model and I was being an actor, and I was like, who's signing my check? I need to be that person.
Oh, okay.
So the producer director part came after I happened to just started modeling and acting, and that part came really key because I wanted to position myself from a business standpoint. I was in the military for a little bit, got out of the military and went back to school for business.
Okay.
So I went to school for international business, so kind of understood the positioning and, you know, creating the awareness of a brand. So I looked at myself as a brand at the time, and I was like, well, I need to be able to expand who I am into a household.
Okay.
More households quicker. How do I do that? Well, I get onto some national publications, or I get onto the TV screen, do movies, or get into music videos. That was just my way of being able to say, this is how I'm able to get my brand out at the time. Now, the problem that I said was unexpected because I was pushing the brand out before I knew why I was pushing the brand out.
Okay, I guess that can happen.
So I got out there and I was getting all this attention, I was getting all this recognition, and every time especially in the entertainment business, it's always the question is, well, what's next?
Right.
Well, what's next? Well, I was so busy always doing something next that I wasn't saying, well, this is still. So I wasn't building a foundation that I could necessarily maximize the exposure. So I just had a brand with no actual business behind it. So I had to take my brand from being on display as much.
Okay.
So that's why I got off of being on camera. I started still in the entertainment industry and creating and producing, but now understanding more so outside of myself being the brand, but now the business components and how to be able to maneuver it. So I do a lot and I travel a lot, but everything is all in sync. Everything I do is really economic development and sustainability for the economy. And I maximize the opportunities of doing it through mass exposure with the experience from being on TV and understanding the power of media. So being able to now take different brands and products and funnel them through the type of process that I went through when I didn't necessarily have the business side of what I wanted to do to maximize it. Now to be able to combine those two for future business owners or future actors or future models, and to be able to really give them not necessarily the recipe for it, but at least a foundation that it's not hard to do, to be across the board, as a lot of people say, because you do so many different things.
Right.
As long as everything that you're doing has a core synergy of why you're doing it.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm like, he is like, you've done, like I said, you've done, I mean, Usher, Nicki, how did it start? Like, what made you, because you didn't initially want to be in entertainment, right?
I didn't. Funny story, I was actually in New York at one point, and I was with one of my friends, and they was a model at the time, big time model, and was on a couple of billboards in New York. And I was there, and they had did this little go-see. So I was sitting there, and the lady comes out, and everybody else is in the back, and she was like, "We want you to come back." I was like, "No, I'm here with somebody. I don't do all that. I'm in the military at the time, so at this time I'm like modeling and shit. You know, I wasn't sure about it. I had my questions. So I ended up going in the back, and they was just taking a picture. I didn't even know what they was taking the picture for or anything. So I go back down to D.C. I was living in D.C. at the time, and probably about a month or so had went by. So I really completely forgot about it, but I get a call. Hey, we have this client that wanted to book you from the model casting that you did in New York. It's like, what model casting? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I kind of at the time was confused, didn't understand what it was. So they continued to hit me up, and they was like, we really, really want you. We really, really want you. Fast forward, I ended up going up, and that was my introduction to modeling. I had got a situation that I probably shouldn't have been in. I was on a hair grease can that was a national production that's still on shelves today, actually. They have my face on the grease can that was distributed worldwide. So the first thing I ever did was a situation that was by chance. But after that, I was like, well, they paid me that much, and all I did was just took a couple pictures. I said, this might be something I can check out a little bit right here.
Right.
So that led me into making the decision to go and try it full time. Initially, when I went out to LA, it was to say, okay, let me position myself because it pays well. I need it from a strategic way, and it was fun.
I bet.
But I was young then, so now understanding the business side and understanding the component that a lot of our entertainers are still missing. A lot of our entertainers are so focused on the entertaining that we don't look at the reasons why or behind the emotions that we're driving through our entertainment.
True.
So when we can really sit there and we can really maximize the platform that we have, especially we need it in our community right now. I think that a lot of our prominent individuals is kind of making our situation a little bit worse than where it should be as a culture, because we bring a lot of times we bring awareness to things, but we don't figure out and navigate as to how do we rectify it.
Right.
And that's what I really think. And not to go on a tantrum with you, but that's what I really think that you should, with the National You Day, is really taking that time to appreciate what it is that you're doing. And also, if there's any type of things that you have rectified on that day as well.
So, actually, like for a cause, outside of just a day of self or self-empowerment or mental health day, rectify some of the issues that may be lingering at the time.
I mean, rectifying it on a National You Day, I mean, I only feel good when I know everybody around me feel good as well.
Right.
So if it's something I might get somebody else or indirectly or whatever, I always want to just batter up someone else. So I mean, I might just take an initiative on the National You Day just to make sure that I can tell a couple of other people that I appreciate them so they can feel good about themselves as well. So even though celebrating myself, I think I might just do that because that's part of, the celebration.
Yeah, I like that. I think that should be a part of National You Day. But for you being so busy, like I said, in the short time you've been doing all kind of stuff since I've seen you. How you keep it together? Like you look like you're stress free to me. When I met you, you was having a great time. How do you keep it all balanced and it's the pressure of what you're doing, the day-to-day affairs from affecting
and
you?
that's what I was saying. It's pressure and everything.
True.
But pressure is limited to what is that threshold of pressure. My threshold of where I'm trying to go is like up here. So me dealing with some little incidents during the day-to-day that might not go my way because of where I'm trying to go, it might seem a lot to a lot of people, but I'll be like, man, I got a couple more hours. I could have did this. I could have did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of times I wish that I could maximize it even more in extending the hours. But it's just what I love to do. And I guess that's the only way I can say it. I don't get tired of doing it because I love doing it. It's not like it's work because it's just it's me living. I get up every day doing exactly what I enjoy doing, interacting with individuals to help them expand and become better than them. And as long as I can make somebody else better, then I'm making myself better at the end of the day. So it's not a tiring thing to be able to smile.
Well, so I guess smiling is part of making people laugh because you spent a whole lot of days doing that. But making people laugh, making people smile is helping you stay youthful, so to speak. It helps you stay the way you are because it doesn't look like you. Stress-free.
Absolutely.
Stress-free. Help you stay stress-free. Jumping on the plane, getting off the plane, running over here to contracts, negotiations.
It's stressful in all that situation, but at the end of the day, what really Keela is when I can look back, I say I'm going through this journey right now.
Okay.
I want to get to the point when I can look back and I can have a lot of historic moments that's in it. I don't want, when it's all said, just be that one thing.
Right.
I want it to be multiple things that I could be remembered by.
Right.
And all of them have the same pinnacle of greatness.
Right.
So in order for me to do that, it's a daily task to get out and to push yourself when you don't want to pat yourself on the back and say, okay, today you got to do what you got to do as you look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Holding yourself accountable. And you're only holding yourself accountable to what it is that you want. So when you're doing that, and it's not outside influences, it's not me saying, I want to do this for my mom, I want to do this for my girl. I want to do this for me.
Right.
And whenever you're doing something what you want to do for yourself, and if you love doing it, you never get tired of doing it.
True.
So, you know, you say it sounds like a lot, but it's like, man, I be trying to find something else I can find and do in there to add into what it is that I have that I'm doing.
Well, it sounds like you want to leave a legacy. You want to leave your deposit in the earth. You want to leave a significant one. So you working towards that. And that's kind of what the vision is towards National Youth Day. Because again, like if I ask a person what they do, or I'm asking them about themselves, they're going to tell me what they do. Or they're going to tell me about their spouse. Or they're going to tell me about their kids. That's wonderful. But I'm trying to get to know you. Like, what are you passionate about? What drives you? What's your why? You know what I mean? And a lot of people too often, they don't have that because life is buried intertwined or whatever in a spouse or, an organization or whatever, not themselves.
It's the titling, you know.
Titling.
It's those roles that you mentioned earlier that we take on, and we start to now facilitate in that role more than we facilitate in our own individuality.
Right. Right.
We work more than, in most cases, people work or at their job with their corporate family more than the family that they should be or they're trying to provide for.
Right.
So I'm out here working more so than I'm able to actually enjoy while I'm working with the family. So your attention a lot of times is, even though you want it to be with the reason why you're working, this is why I got to work. I'm working. I got to keep doing this.
Right.
And you can't. So a lot of times until we can take ourselves out of the work mode into the living mode, and we can then find a balance there. But you know, the true balance is, like I said, when your everyday living can become your work, or you can figure out, how do I get paid for doing what I love, and then you never work another day of your life.
Yeah, and they say that, but it's the honest to God truth.
It's the hardest thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
But it's the most rewarding thing that you'll ever do. When you can really, and that's why I said, it's the committing to yourself.
Yeah.
So on that National Youth Day, it's that, this is what I'm going to do. A lot of times we do our New Year's resolutions and say, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. On the National Youth Day, it should be, maybe, let's make that be the checkpoint.
Right.
This is what we established at the top of the year. Today we checking ourselves.
Right. Right. I'm checking to see if I did what I wanted to do.
I'm slacking. Why? What I didn't do. Hold yourself accountable for it. And that's why I say, I mean, when you are your biggest critic, most of the time we are. But if you can be your biggest supporter.
Yes. Definitely your biggest supporter.
If you can be your biggest supporter, man, it's nothing that you can't do.
I totally agree. Because National Youth Day, coming from Tampa, National Youth Day, when I told you, you got it nah, like it clicked for you instantly. So for a National Youth Day coming from this city, at first I was like, nah, you won't be able to pull this off. But it's so important for me for it to go national. It's not about me, so to speak. It's about people remembering themselves. Because I've seen so many people get to their 70s, 80s, 90s, and have so many regrets for being that wonderful wife. And nothing wrong with that. But they had dreams that was buried into that. They had desires. They had things they wanted to accomplish, and they didn't. Yep. And they wish they had, because when that spouse died at year 60 and you married at 20, you had nothing left to do. Yeah. You had nothing left. So you sat in the house and was like nearly a vegetable until you left here. How sad is that?
Well, and that goes back to, most of the time, people stress because they're not doing what they want to do.
Right.
They're not getting what they want to do. That's why we stress.
Yeah.
And you hit it when you find, like I said, chase your dreams. Fail. It's okay to fail.
It's okay to fail.
I tell everybody, I love failing because I'm building a strong foundation. The more stuff I can throw to the wall to slide down, the higher I can stand the next time I throw it.
Love it. Love it.
So, and it's just about the enjoyment. Truthfully, the more you can smile at yourself, you can laugh at yourself, the more people will laugh with you. Right. Smile with you. And smiling and laughing is contagious.
And it's like medicine.
It's like medicine. It is. You know, a lot of times we focus on the wrong things. We focus on monetary things in life a lot of times. Or we focus on the materialistic things. And just going back, because we focus on the work more than we do on the living.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, I think, once we can change our society's focus of work mentality instead of the living mentality, we can all just focus on enjoying life, the work and the resources, and being able to adequately support the economy that will come. It's just about everybody taking that individuality and saying, I'm going to hold myself accountable. And that's what the National Youth Day, I think, is really about. Everybody kind of taking the initiative to say, what can I do to make society, myself, tomorrow better?
I so agree. I mean, that's a great way to look at National Youth Day, and it's totally what I had in mind. But I think a lot of times people don't see themselves as needing a day. Well, I have my family. I have my wonderful job. Mm-hmm. I've been there 20 years. Mm-hmm. I have this. I have that. I have the right car in the right neighborhood. My life is going great. Mm-hmm. But internally, you probably don't feel that way. Or neither does that spouse, or neither does the children. National Youth Day is about finding out, making sure that core is okay. And what you just said, you pretty much nailed it.
And you know, and not to keep bringing you back and forth into this, but you just kind of said something that I found myself guilty of. You were saying that we go through our day to day and we don't really take the time to look and see where we're at. Once again, us being the biggest supporter. Sometimes if we was to look back over that 5-year, that 10-year, the 20-year mark, and really on that National Youth, let's take that time and say, this is what I did. This is what I was able to do.
Yeah. It's okay.
Because we're in the moment, and when you're in the moment, you can't see it from the outside.
Right.
So I think on that national, we take a step, look from the outside and say, wow, I did that.
I did that. Right. It's so okay. To me, it's nobody has to give you permission to say I did that.
Nobody.
Because only you know your story. I don't care who's watching. I don't care who's looking on. Mm-hmm. I really and truly, I live my life really not caring what they think. I mean, totally. I'm so okay if it's just I'm my only cheerleader.
Well, and see, I say this, and people say I'm wrong for saying it sometimes. I tell people, when you learn to live for yourself and exist for others,
right?
Man.
Yeah.
Hopefully my existence is meaningful, but I'm living for me.
For me. Yeah. I was given a life. I was given a task, some type of contribution in the earth. I'm working on that. Yes. I really don't care what you think about me doing that. I support you in your efforts and what you're doing, and everybody else is doing something.
Absolutely.
But National Youth Day, I really want them to zoom in on them. But I think you should have a You Day every day, a Me Day, You Day, whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely.
Every day, because it's so important.
Absolutely.
You're the biggest person. You have the biggest responsibility to yourself, more so than anybody else. You better be your biggest cheerleader.
I love it. I mean, I think you guys are. Well, no, I don't think you guys are onto something that I think will be impactful sooner than later on a national level. And I know that you guys are looking at focusing on starting here locally and being able to have a tangible presence,
right?
That's here. But I mean, with the movement behind what you guys are doing as far as one celebrating themselves, and with the platforms that we have of things being able to pick up and go viral, I think it's something that, you know, like we pass these different messages along, I think we should just create some type of tab to say, celebrate yourself today, pass it on.
Pass it on.
For National Youth Day.
Yeah.
You know, let it circulate out there, put the positivity out there, and again, give people an opportunity to take a step out, look at themselves and say, this is what I did.
This is what I did, National Youth Day. Yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it. So what are you going to do? Special, different on National Youth Day?
You know, I'm a literally think about how I can appreciate and really hold myself accountable. I have my ambition seems to keep growing and growing and growing as to more and more I'm exposed to in life, as more I want in life. So I think this year, because of I'm always continuing to want more and more, I think I'm really, really going to take the moment and kind of sit back and go through a timeline and not necessarily appreciate myself or congratulate myself, but actually that's probably what I will do, is just take a moment and really look at it and say, this is what I've been able to do. And I hadn't really done that across the board, and a lot of the different things that I have just been blessed with along the way.
I mean, I would say you should definitely do that. I do. And little small victories.
Yeah,
the little stuff. The crazy stuff. You did that.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? You know what I mean? Like coming up, who would have thought? So I pat myself on the back a lot of times. Some of the things, I mean, the smallest little victory is important to me, and I celebrate it. But so National Youth Day, that's what I plan on doing, and that's what you'll be doing.
Oh, man.
Are you buying any new toys? Are you doing anything extra?
I really probably, I kind of want to just get out and just enjoy without the thoughts of going out and spending anything. Like I said, again, materialistic. Most of the things that we do materialistic isn't for ourselves. It's
for other
typically
people.
for other people. And
unless you really like it. Some people vain enough to.
I think we all got that a little bit, but honestly, I really hadn't made any plans, and I think my plan might be to have no plan, to be.
I like that. Just kind of fly by the studio.
Just to be,
I had made up. We may be coming if you in California or in LA. We may come. We haven't decided whether we're going to do Miami. Is it going to be New York? Is it going to be LA? But somewhere National Youth Day. So we start the day in Tampa, and fly somewhere.
Wow. Okay.
Not sure where yet. May just pick up and just fly somewhere. National Youth Day kicking off.
Man, I could see one of these large airlines, maybe Delta Airline or someone out there.
That's my favorite.
Endorsing someone like that on a National Youth Day and being able to create some type of event that people can come out of celebration.
Right.
To celebrate themselves, and we could probably get some type of, larger socialites to come and celebrate themselves amongst us.
Yeah.
As well.
You celebrate life.
And just have fun. And I'm sure, some of these airlines out here would love to be able to come on board and help assist in being able to get individuals from their home destination to a final destination on a National Youth Day.
On a National Youth Day.
I think we should look into that.
And then I want to grow to where corporations let some people off as if it's a holiday. It's a mental health day. It's important.
Actually, and I know that's what you told me before, that you was doing the first one was with mental health, right? Every year has to be mental health in a capacity, because everything else is sprung off from the mental, right?
Yeah.
So us not celebrating ourselves enough is from the mental standpoint. So now we can come in and we can pat ourselves on the back, and we start to now build that mental courage, and that confidence start to rise. And that's why I said we get the courage of the lion. There's nothing that we can't do.
Right.
So that's what I'm really more excited about, man, that you guys have really shocked the society into a possibility of what more can I do on a National Youth Day to really push society into. I think it's going to be better for not only just individuality, but for also a unity amongst everyone, with everyone being able to appreciate themselves.
Right. And in this chaos that we have going on, people angry.
It's hard to be upset with somebody else when you're happy with yourself.
When you're happy with yourself. Say that one more time. It's hard to be.
It is hard to be upset with somebody else when you're happy with yourself.
When you're happy with yourself. And that's the honest to God truth. When you see people around here miserable, and then trying to make your life miserable, they really are miserable.
Absolutely.
But when you happy with yourself, it's hard to be upset with someone else when you're happy with yourself. Love that. That is so true. But anyway, I really, really thank you for joining me on National Youth Day.
Like I told you, it was a pleasure to be here. To be able to pat myself on the back a little bit, to say you was able to get out here and be in the presence of amazing people like Keela.
Yes, thank you.
I do want to appreciate you for extending the offer.
Well, I appreciate it. I so love the fact that you were able to make it and all of your input. Well, we'll be talking about how we can expand National Youth Day, but just being able to do this interview and helping people see themselves. Because sometimes men, y'all, I don't know what y'all have going on.
Sometimes we don't care to see ourselves because our sponsors don't told us that we're something that we don't want to be most of the time in the mirror. So we were like, oh. But, I think for the fellas, it's okay to love yourself. Most of the time, we like to be hard even with ourselves. We tough on ourselves and anybody else that sees us most of the time. So it's holding ourselves accountable. It's us not necessarily focusing on what we didn't do, because we hear that enough as to what we ain't doing, what we could do, why we ain't doing. We hear that. So, fellas, especially you guys, man, I think it is important. It is a key day on the calendar year that you take the moment, appreciate the things that you have done, as well as the things that you're getting ready to do the remaining of this year on National Youth Day. We just want to put it in ink, put it on writing, hold yourself accountable for it.
Yeah.
Go back and revisit it next year at the end of the year. See if you was able to do what you said that you was going to do, and if you didn't, why didn't you do it? Let's have fun, guys. Let's do this.
National Youth Day, August 4th. This is Jason Newsome. Thank you for joining us in Tampa. We wish you a safe flight back to LA and then back to Tampa, because you have to come back.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm always going to be back and forth. I like it here in Tampa. I like the people, especially when they have an amazing causes like this here. So, I mean, National you have me regardless of where we at in the universe. I will be there.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Jason. Facebook, thank you so much. We want to know what you're going to do different on National Youth Day. Are you going to celebrate yourself in Tampa? Are you going to celebrate wherever you are? Where are you watching from? We want to know your celebration. What are you going to do for National Youth Day? I told you what I'm doing. Jason told you what he's doing. In every interview I've had so far, share what they're going to do. We want to hear from you, Facebook. What will you do different on August the 4th, which is National Youth Day?
And I'm sure we're going to let you guys know where you can come and celebrate you with us.
Yes. Yes. We're going to have a celebration. Jason is going to help me figure out where the celebration is going to be. Yeah. But we're gonna turn up, as they say.
Celebrate
turn
you
up.
with us.
Celebrate you. Yeah, celebrate you with us.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Because you should be happy with yourself. And everybody in the room should be happy with themselves. And even if they're not, we can help them be happy with themselves on National Youth Day. Thanks again, family. We are signing off for National Youth Day. Make sure you tell us where you're going to celebrate and what you're going to do and where you're watching from.